The obstacle on the path becomes the way. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. He who is brave is free. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Skillful pilots gain their reputation from storms and tempests. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. How long were you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself? If you wish to be rich, do not add to your money, but subtract from your desire. Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. To live a good life, we have the potential for it. If we learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Don't wish for an easy life, wish for the strength to endure a difficult one. Know, first, who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. Things are not bad in themselves, but our opinions about things are. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. No man is free who is not a master of himself. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Time is a great healer, but a poor beautician. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. Don't be fooled by what you see. What you see is temporary. What you cannot see is eternal. If you want to be a leader, you must be a servant first. Nothing is worth doing pointlessly, nor is it good to spend time on things that don't matter. Curb your desire. Don't set your heart on so many things, and you will get more of the good things you want. You are a little soul carrying around a corpse. Don't be driven by a need for approval. Be driven by a love for what you do. What we do now echoes in eternity. A man is not good by nature, but good by choice. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others. Time is the most valuable thing a man can spend. A fool is one who does not have a plan. The only way to deal with this life meaningfully is to find one's passion and give it all you've got. Freedom is the only true happiness. Do not be a slave to your passions, nor to your fears. If you want to be happy, be. To be content with little is hard. To be content with much, impossible. You will not be a good man until you know how to endure hardships. Let no one ever come to you without leaving better and happier. A wise man is not made miserable by the world. The world has no power over him. He who has mastered the art of patience has mastered the art of life. What happens is not as important as how you react to it. No man has been harmed by what happens to him, only by his response to what happens. If you wish to be rich, do not add to your money, but subtract from your desires. People are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them. The mind that is anxious about the future is miserable. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. Learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference. We are disturbed not by what happens, but by our thoughts about what happens. The pain that you feel today is the strength that you will feel tomorrow. The only good is knowledge, and the only evil is ignorance. Success is the result of discipline, not desire. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your thoughts. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. A wise man is not disturbed by misfortunes. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Fortune and misfortune are both inevitable. It is not enough to be good. You must also act with goodness. A person's mind is like a garden. If you don't plant good seeds, weeds will grow. No man can be happy without his own consent. Seek not the good in external things. Seek it in yourselves. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. Self-discipline is the key to greatness. The only good is knowledge, and the only evil is ignorance. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be honest. Nothing happens to any man that he is not fit to bear. Success is the result of discipline, not desire. Take a moment to imagine the worst that could happen, and then live as though you have already endured it. All emotions are the result of mistaken thoughts. Be not afraid of life. Believe that life is worth living, and your belief will help create the fact. Life is neither good nor evil, but only a place for good and evil. To be able to endure and live calmly through any circumstance is the essence of strength. Become a friend to yourself, and you will have fewer enemies. If you want to be wise, strive not for knowledge, but for the art of thinking. Your mind will take the shape of what you frequently hold in thought. What we achieve inwardly will change outer reality. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Be content to live in the present moment, for you have no control over the future. A wise man adapts himself to circumstances, as water shapes itself to the vessel that contains it. A person who has control over his own mind is more powerful than a king. Take a moment to imagine the worst that could happen, and then live as though you have already endured it. Self-discipline is the key to greatness. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. A wise man is not disturbed by misfortunes. Seek not the good in external things. Seek it in yourselves. Life is neither good nor evil, but only a place for good and evil. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Be content with little, and you will be free.